Hi and welcome. Thank you for being here today. I'm very excited to share this Dreams mini workshop on how dreams show us our gifts. Hopefully this will be the first of many monthly dream mini workshops, each one focusing on bite-sized aspects of dreams. And the aim is to have a bit of fun, but also to help you understand your own dreams and what you're being told every night. If you're watching this on YouTube, then a very warm welcome to you as well. And if you enjoyed today's session, then please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to be notified of more videos like this as I upload them. This is a recording of an interactive session, but it is still interactive. So if you have any questions, then please feel free to type them in the comments on the video and I will reply as quick as I can. And that could be about a dream you've had or just a general question about the things that we discuss in this little presentation today. A special thank you to my wife Leanne, who dealt with all of the questions during the presentation. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Olly. I'm a holistic counsellor and energy healer. And one of the ways I help people is to use their dreams and to help them understand their dreams so that they can move forward in life. My passion for dreams started in 2018, and I've been studying the work of several dream teachers since then. And in particular, I just want to make a little shout out here for Michael Sheridan, who, in my opinion, is an exceptionally gifted dream interpreter and teacher. He runs a weekly podcast, has written a couple of books, and he runs courses all the time. Look him up. Is an excellent resource for understanding your dreams. Highly recommended. And a lot of what we'll cover today in this session is from his work and also from his teacher before him, George Radigan. So without further ado, I will hand you over to the presentation. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Let's dive in and find out how dreams show us our spiritual abilities, sometimes called our spiritual gifts. Okay. So, your life purpose. So I make no apologies for diving straight in here, and this is a very sort of spiritual approach. We come to Earth, as Dr. Peebles would say, and Dr. Peebles is channeled by Summer Bacon, and he says that we come to Earth to discover and dissolve the illusions of separation within self and between love. And I just love that description of dissolving the illusion that we've created between ourselves and ultimately between God or source or whatever word you want to use there. And ultimately, we're here to discover our true nature. We're here to discover that we are an expression of source, of God, of the divine, and that we are actually all connected. We are actually all one. How do we do this? Well, we need to balance energies, and healing is balancing masculine and feminine energies. And these are kind of labels which we can attach to two different types of aspects of ourselves, the outwards masculine aspect and the inwards feminine aspect. And very often, many of us need to develop the feminine energy aspects by opening and moving our awareness into the heart. So getting in touch with our feelings, connecting with our heart and our emotions, which in this very rational world in which we live in can be quite a challenge. And we're given repeated opportunities to heal the limiting beliefs that we created from our past conditioning. And some of this past conditioning, in fact, a lot of it, is often from very early childhood. And we actually planned this conditioning. We planned it so that it would reflect our limitations on the spiritual plane. We could spend a whole session talking about that, and maybe we will do in another time. But we can heal those limiting beliefs. And we can also grow in awareness by using our spiritual abilities that we brought with us to Earth. And this will help us to fulfill the plan that we made for our visit here on Earth. However, it's worth noting we might need to heal certain energetic aspects before we can actually use these gifts effectively. And dreams guide us to achieve these goals. They will tell us what our special abilities are, and they'll keep telling us night after night, encouraging us to develop and use them. So what are spiritual abilities? What do we mean by that? Well, spirituality is expression of the soul. It's what lights you up inside. It's what gives you joy, it's where you find yourself just flowing and time just seems to disappear. It's being in the moment. And I think we can all perhaps relate to moments in our life when that has happened. And it can range from all sorts of talents or abilities. And we have at least one spiritual ability, and most of us have many more. So for example, here are some familiar talents or abilities which we're familiar with in our everyday life. But there are some more what we might regard as spiritual abilities, such as spiritual healing, the ability to channel divine energy through the body and into whoever's receiving healing. Channeling is a way, sometimes called mediumship, is a way of connecting with the spirit world to bring messages from the spirit world to us. Mind projection is all about having a strong mind and being able to project that mind. It's very good for people who are in sales, but it's also good for hypnotherapy, hypnotherapists, and it actually enables absent healing. That's healing from a distance. So it's a slightly different mechanism from spiritual healing, which is more like a hands-on modality. Spiritual leadership is another ability we'll take a look at today. And that's giving people a bigger picture of their lives so that they can be empowered to actually go forward and heal and grow in awareness. Intuition, that's another key spiritual gift. And we'll be talking a little bit about that and how that works. And even prophecy, very rare actually, prophecy, but it does come along from time to time. And we'll see how dreams reveal that. Okay, so let's get into symbols for spiritual gifts. But before we do that, it's just worth noting that each gift has an archetypal symbol. And this is going to show up in your dreams if you're being asked to develop it. It's a really good idea to look at the context of the dream for more detail about that gift. So if it's writing, you might have something in the dream which is to do with musical instruments. So that would suggest that actually you're to use this ability to write music. Although you can develop a gift that you haven't brought to this life, it usually won't do you any good and it won't help you to fulfill your life purpose. It's actually likely to hinder your progress. And dreams will warn you of this. So let's dive into some symbols. So wherever you see leaders or groups of people or anything that can bring people together and give them a common aim, then that is referring to spiritual leadership, teaching. So, for example, I've seen dreams with Obama in, or another leader of some type. And spiritual leaders show others a bigger picture so that they can realize that they have the power to overcome their own problems. And this change in perception empowers them to take responsibility for their own healing and growth. It's kind of like showing someone that they can learn to fish rather than just accepting fish from other people. Sources of light in dreams. And sources of light that eliminate darkness specifically. That's to do with intuition. So here we've got a lighthouse. And intuition is about channeling from your higher self, from the bigger portion of you that's in the spirit world. We're only a small portion of that higher self. And channeling that through our heart, through our heart chakras. And you might have had that knowing of I just know that that's the case. And that is intuition. And all sorts of symbols can come up. For example, the moon. The moon lights the night, dispels darkness. A silver coin, because the moon is silver, the silver coin kind of mimics the moon. Large windows let a lot of light in. Birthday candles are a classic one. Moving or transmitting something through the air. So I've got this one here. This is the balloon going through the air. And this is about a strong intellect. In dream language, air is often to do with the way we, our thinking and our mind. So things that go through the air are about being able to transmit or project your mind. And that indicates a strong intellect. So hypnotism, absent healer, and as I mentioned, salesmen and women can benefit from this gift. So other symbols might be TV presenters, because they're transmitting their picture through the air. Billboard, because they're transmitting the message through the air. If you ever fly in your dreams, that's a key symbol for having a strong intellect. Or a presentation like we're doing here today, but in your dreams, of course. So people with this gift can visualize something they want, and they can make it happen. So using vision board, these people are really effective. It's worth noting, though, that people with this strong intellect can actually think negatively, and that can actually cause damage and be negative for other people. So often people with this gift can actually recall their nightly journeys to the astral plane, and their dream tends to be conversational and literal, and it relates to something in the dream's present reality. Let's keep going. So sources of two-way communication, references to ears, actors, or musicians. Any ideas what that might refer to? Opening up, anybody got any ideas? Oh, somebody else coming in.
Channeling, Olly.
Channeling, yes, Emma,
Channeling.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. It is definitely. So channeling is where we're bringing messages from the spirit world to the earth. And so any kind of source, any kind of reference to two-way communication, such as a mobile phone, or references to ears, that would be clairaudience. References to eyes, that would be clairvoyance. And this skill, this ability requires both masculine and feminine energies, the heart and the head. You might see a telephone box, you might see the internet, postage stamp, because we're sending messages through the postal system, headphones or earrings. Let's keep going. A couple more keys coming up, and then we're going to look at a dream and see whether you can spot what the gifts are. Sources of knowledge or information. So anybody got any clues as to that? Feel free to type it in the chat or unmute yourself. Okay, well, dreaming of libraries is a good one, and many of my colleagues on the counselling course may have had dreams involving magazines.
Katie says books. Katie has said books.
Books, yeah, absolutely. Well, books can appear in dreams, and if there's sources of knowledge like an encyclopedia or even just normal books, they can refer to counselling. Because counsellors have the knowledge to help people understand themselves better. And counsellors must have compassion, which is a feminine energy aspect, and to accept somebody as they are and guide and empower them to move forward in their life. So any kind of reference to knowledge or information. If you see a pearl in your dream, that refers to the saying pearls of wisdom. And believe it or not, dreams will have puns in them, which is kind of mind-boggling. But the spirit world has a sense of humor, which is actually quite nice to know. 180-degree panoramic view. Any ideas? View of what's on the horizon. There's a clue for you. Well, this one is all about being able to look and see the future, or have prophetic ability. It is an unusual ability. Not many people have this. And when you, perhaps you have a dream about being an eagle, huge view, or at the top of a skyscraper looking out over the cityscape of the skyline. And often when you're actually having a prophetic dream, so something that is perhaps going to happen in the future, and of course these are only probabilities, but highly probable for these people, then the people feel a kind of band around the head or around the waist. It's a sort of strange kind of sensation. Let's keep going. Well, means of writing, well, that's an obvious one. It's going to be a writer. But as I mentioned, have a look at the context of the dream, because it could be writing music, it could be writing journalistic. The context matters. Sources of energy or power. Any ideas, anybody? So this one is referring to spiritual healing, which is where the person who with this gift can channel energy through them. It's not their own energy, it's divine energy, angelic energy, you could say, and into the person. It's usually done by contact or very close contact, so that the person has their hands perhaps on their shoulders or somewhere close to them, sometimes called hands-on healing. And you'll see symbols that anything that is a source of energy or power. So a fast, powerful car. Food is a source of energy. If you're served food in a dream, or if you're serving food, then that's a sign that you have this ability. The sun is a fusion reactor. It's an amazing source of energy. And hands as well. You see the hand in this little picture here. Is often a big clue for hands-on healing. Often people with hands in their dreams have this ability too. So let's have a look at a dream. And this is actually a dream from somebody who is here on the call today. And I'll just say, before we look at this, that a dream that references birth in any way, so a birthday, or a celebration, because birth is a big celebration. It will usually have symbols for your life purpose, which includes your gifts. You can have other issues that you picked up from childhood that you need to heal as well. But we usually see our gifts in these kind of dreams. It's not possible to lose your gifts. Hooray! But we're often encouraged to develop them, and guides, who are our angelic helpers, if you like, around us all the time, 24/7. They will appear in our dreams and often tell who they are, because they're really tall, often with sort of light colored hair, and they will often show us our gifts. So look for symbols that are gifts that are highlighted in some way. So perhaps you might see a TV that is outside the balcony rather than inside the room. So that will highlight that that person has a gift of clairvoyance, because the TV has a picture in it. And we will often use our own gifts, such as spiritual healing or counseling in a dream, to actually heal aspects of ourselves. So let's have a look at this guy. We've got a royal tour, and this is a dream from somebody on the call who very kindly said that we could use it. I had a tour of Buckingham Palace. The Queen decided that she enjoyed my company and invited me to join her. We visited a group of school children performing a play. One particular little girl was an excellent actor and led us into a candlelit chapel. It was beautiful. All the alcoves were stacked with candles, presents and jewels for me. I was totally amazed. That evening there was to be a gala. I found out that I was to be the guest of honor. So, can you spot any of the symbols we've been talking about today? Anybody got any ideas? So somebody's.
A couple of people, Amber has said candles, meaning intuition, and Helena has talked about light
Fantastic.
as one of the symbols.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, we have candles. And so this person has got an intuition, a connection with their higher self, which leads them to get feelings or just knowings. Absolutely. So also notice that we are in a chapel and there's a gala. So this is a reference, first of all, the gala is a celebration. It's a reference to birth. So we would expect to see some gifts in this dream. And also the chapel is a spiritual place. So on our spiritual journey, we're supposed to use our gifts. We would expect to see gifts because of that reason as well. So,
Helena, sorry, Olly. Helena has also said that the Queen, because
yes.
the Queen is an important person.
Yes.
And Emma has said leaders.
Brilliant.
Leadership ability as well.
Absolutely. Yes. The Queen is the head of state. So we're talking spiritual leadership or spiritual teaching. This person is a spiritual teacher, able to give people the bigger picture of their life and empower them to move forward. And that's great. Got excellent actor. Now, I didn't mention this one, I don't think. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Anybody know what an actor signifies, or an actress? I'll give you a clue. Actors speak lines. They're not their own lines. They're the lines of whoever wrote the film or the play. But they pass on the message.
Amber has got an idea. Amber, would you unmute yourself?
Is it channeling?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Well done, Amber. Yes, it is. It is. It's bringing messages from the spirit world to the earth plane. Absolutely. And that needs two types of, you need the masculine head energies and you need the heart energies to do that. So it's quite a tricky thing to get balanced. Excellent. Well done. What else have we got? We got the candles. Well done earlier on. Yes. Presents and jewels. So presents are gifts. So we actually have a reference to gifts in the dream. And what are jewels? Jewels are very precious. So these gifts are precious. And this is encouraging the dreamer to use them. Now, the dreamer's subconscious will understand what is going on in this metaphorical dream. We just have difficulty in our conscious minds understanding it until we start to understand the language of dreams. So yeah, presents and jewels are valuable, and there is other stuff in this this dream as well, but those are really the gifts. So fantastic. I'm very conscious that we've got about 30 to 40 minutes, and we've had about 25 so far. So we've got another dream that we can look at, but it'd be great if you've got any questions. It'd be great to have a little question and answer session here, and we can talk about various aspects in the dream, in the dreams we've looked at, and also in the presentation. So if you've got any questions, please fire away.
Emma, will you unmute yourself, please?
Olly, it's just an observation, really, because when I dream, that dream is just so beautifully put together. When I dream, I find it quite hard to actually string a story together, because there's just lots of bits that very, very rarely do I have a dream that is as coherent as that.
Yeah.
So is that?
No, that is absolutely normal, and join the club. So often Leanne and I, wake up, we've got a pad beside our bed, and we'll be writing our dreams up, because otherwise it just disappear as they come. But it's quite fun in the morning to try and decipher the writing that you did in the dark. But yeah, very often they can be fragments. I like to think of dreams as being like holograms. Even if you have just a fragment of a dream, that will contain a lot of information, and it will contain possibly maybe 80% of the message that the dream is trying to get through to you. So even if your dream is like kind of random and it's like, oh, what the heck's going on? Kind of write down the symbols that you get, even if there's no storyline attached to them. And then we can start to see a chain of cause and effect, or start to apply a way of looking at it by saying, okay, so perhaps what is the effect? And the effect is often a negative. The cause is often to do with our childhood and conditioning that we're trying to heal. But yeah, it is an ongoing process to try and work with dreams and understand them. And I totally get what you're saying, because let maybe say half of my dreams are still like scratching my head going, what went on there? And the other half is like, okay, I'm getting the picture. Not fully, because there's always different layers of the dream. I hope that helps a little bit. And I mean, if you've got a dream that you would like looking at in more detail, then feel free to, I'll just scroll forward here. Feel free to submit it at my website at oliverwedgwood.com, and we can take a look together. And I love dreams, so it'd be an absolute pleasure to do that and get a feel for how your dreams are constructed and how we can perhaps decipher them.
Okay, thanks, Olly.
Andy has asked, how do such dreams relate to one's real life?
Yes, really good question. And they relate to, this is just one small bite-sized aspect of dreams, Andy. It's a really good question. Dreams will comment on our health, our career, our relationships, our state of mind. They'll comment as well on the issues that are still holding us back from growth, from becoming more aware of who we really are. And so, yeah, in another session, we can perhaps focus on perhaps a more worldly aspect of dreams, which is, let's say, how dreams tell you about your career or your relationships. And that is a whole other chapter that we can look at. But it's the same idea. The dream uses symbols and in metaphors to communicate what's going on. And you'll also get a subconscious reaction in that dream. So you can actually have a peek into what your subconscious is doing, usually negative, unfortunately. Hope that helps a bit. Cool. Any other questions at the moment? So if not, we've got 5 minutes. So I'll just take a look at the last dream that we've had here, which is about a cardboard buffet. And I was at some kind of party that had a lovely buffet set up, but all of the hot trays only had white cardboard boxes in them, like gift boxes, along with a clear plastic serving spoon. The boxes fit into the trays almost perfectly. I was puzzled why they were serving cardboard boxes at the buffet. So let's pick out some keywords here. Can you spot anything that we've been through today? Give you some clues.
Helena said there's a gift, and she's also said the word white.
Ah, very good, yes.
And Emma has said a celebration.
Good, celebration. Yep. And let's see, we've got buffet is a party. Yes, absolutely. It's a celebration. So a celebration that'll be a reference to your birth. So we're going to expect some gifts, symbols to come up here. And they even say gift boxes. So white, yes. And that's actually another layer of the dream, which suggests that the dreamer is perhaps a bit self-critical. Because if something's white, then it's perfect. And of course, we're not on this earth plane, at least we're not perfect. So that can be a symbol to say that the dream was perhaps a little bit self-critical, and perhaps of others too. What about the buffet? Any ideas? Going there.
A source of power, Emma says, a source of power, and Amber says healing.
Yay! Absolutely brilliant, yes. So this dreamer has got a hands-on healing ability, able to channel energy through them. That's it. We've got white cardboard boxes in the trays. It's an interesting part. And we've got a plastic serving spoon. I think that's all the ones, yes. So this dream says, yeah, the dreamer has a hands-on healing ability, but what is in the boxes? Nothing. There's nothing in the boxes. And she's kind of going, well, why are they serving cardboard boxes? So the dream is saying, you've got a hands-on healing ability, but you're not using it. You need to be using it. And so again, it's a metaphor, but we can translate it like that. The plastic is a man-made substance. So the reason, and this is that cause and effect thing that Emma, you were asking about, or I mentioned, the plastic is a man-made substance. So we could say that man-made conventions are restricting this dreamer. A box is a restriction as well. So there's another layer, restricting this dreamer from going ahead with her hands-on healing ability. And it may be such things as just feeling that she won't be accepted, or she'll be shunned, or just treated as a complete whatever. So here this dream is saying, got a gift, but you ain't using it, and encouraging the dreamer to use it. Cool. So I'll wrap up here. And so dreams are guides for our life path. And each month we'll take a look at our little chunk. So maybe next time we'll look at career. That would be quite a good one to do. They encourage us to use our gifts. That in doing that, it'll help us to heal and to move forward and grow in awareness. And birth and spiritual dreams often show us our gifts. Have a dream with a chapel in, or a church, or even water. Where did life come from? It came from water, from the sea. So that is a spiritual dimension. And we'll often see gifts in those dreams. It'll come in symbolic form. So we've got to translate it using metaphors. And we all have at least one spiritual ability. So your challenge for tonight or the next few days is, if you can remember a dream, is see if you can spot a symbol for a gift that we've talked about. And you're always welcome to visit oliverwedgwood.com, drop in, and if you want help with a dream, and if you join my newsletter, I'll give you a free gift. How about that? And so, yeah, thank you so much for being here for this evening. And it's been really fun. I hope you've had fun. I hope you've learned something useful as well. And before we finish, any last questions at all?
Hi, Olly. Thank you so much. That was brilliant.
I
don't really remember my dreams.
Yeah.
What are a few tips to remember them?
Right. A really useful tip is, let's say you usually wake up at, I don't know, 7 o'clock. Just set your alarm clock 45 minutes before you wake up. So I have 2 alarms. So when the 6:15 alarm goes off, what that will do, just wake you up a little bit, you can turn it off and go back to sleep. It will bring up your sleep pattern into a lighter sleep. And we dream in REM sleep, and that is more towards the latter parts of the night's sleep.
Okay.
You'll probably find that you remember your dreams if you do that for a few days.
Cool.
I'd love to hear how you get on if you give that a try.
I will, yeah, thank you.
Sure. Brilliant.
Imogen says, thank you, Olly. It was a lovely workshop. Well done. Will they always be on the last Wednesday of the month?
They're always going to be on the last Tuesday of the month. So I will.
Sorry, it is Tuesday today. Sorry.
It's all right. It's the summer holidays. I don't know what day it is either.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it was lovely. Thank you, Olly.
It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
And Emma also says, thank you so much. Great fun. Really enjoyed it. And Andy says, really thought provoking.
Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. Really great to see you, and thanks for coming tonight. Really appreciate it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.